Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Elders allegedly torn apart as per, Gbenro Alakija confesses evil against Queen Naomi, evil done against Olori Naomi. Now, the truth is beginning to come out. I think that with what is happening now, Kabiesi's mind can begin to calm down because some of the things that Kabiesi had wanted to hear is what he is beginning to hear now. But even though things are, things have not gone well at all, they said the confession came unexpectedly during a gathering in one of the palace meeting rooms. The elders had been called together after a series of incidents in the palace and the growing unrest among the wives and close associates of the Ooni of Ife. Everyone present looked tense. The topic of Queen Naomi kept coming up, her departure from the palace, the event that led to her troubles, and the continued tension that seemed to haunt the palace of the Ooni of Ife, which they know has got everything to do with a retribution coming from everything that has been done to Olori Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dela Ram. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources still on the royals. How I guys doing? I appreciate you so much. I love you. Hey, Chiooo, Adukwe, my people, if you're yet to subscribe, what the hell are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button and do not forget to turn on the notification bell and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys so much. They say Gbenro Alakija, one of the senior elders who had been part of the palace decision making for decades, sat quietly. At first, his hands trembled, slightly, and he looked tired, almost worn out. At some, point during the discussion, while people were arguing about whether Queen Naomi's situation had been the result of, her own action, or if Queen Naomi's situation has been the result of the hostility that many people are enduring in the palace from the hand of Ògúnjáyé. While the argument was ongoing, he began slowly, his voice low. I cannot keep this inside anymore, he said. What happened to Queen Naomi was not an accident. Some of us made it happen. His statement shocked the entire room. People shifted uncomfortably, glancing at each other, not sure if they had heard correctly. Gbenro, you of all people, you, we do know that you are a traditionalist. We do know that you do not like Naomi. We do know that, you don't, in fact, we know a lot of things, but to think that you can stood so low to harm a girl that is young enough to be your own daughter, as in to fight against her, is what we don't know about you. They said, Gbenro went on to explain. He said, there had been a meeting among a small group of elders shortly before Ooni of Ife's biggest scandal involving Queen Naomi broke out. At that time, there was anger towards her over palace dispute, and some believe she was, challenging, a lot of people who are traditionalists inside the palace. He admitted that in that meeting, they decided to use spiritual means, what he openly called witchcraft, to teach her a lesson and make her leave and never come back, because at the time, Kabiesi was going back and forth with Queen Naomi. It was almost as if Kabiesi couldn't do without Queen Naomi, and they were tired. They never want Queen Naomi back. They never wanted Kabiesi to have anything to do with Queen Naomi. So they felt like this is a time where we will collectively come together to show her that this is not where she belongs. She needs to go to where she belongs. And a lot of things were done to Olori Naomi. It's just that every time they shot, it never got to her. Every time they shot, it never got to her. They needed to do something that will show Olori Naomi that indeed they are in control. And that was when they struck. So they said Gbenro was trying to talk in that meeting, trying to explain to elders what happened. But there was so much noise in the meeting. Yes, there was so much noise in the meeting. At some point, some elders are saying that the way the noise was coming, it was beginning to look as though some of the elders were deliberately trying to shut Gbenro from saying a thing. They didn't want him to confess. They didn't want that kind of information to be out there. But Gbenro was looking very weak and tired, and they never knew. In fact, there was no information as to whether Gbenro was sick or not. Nobody was ever told that this man has been sick, apart from, once in a while, all of these arthritis and all of that they all are aware that old people face, that Gbenro was facing also. But then there was never a time and information came that Gbenro was sick. But the way he was talking that day, nobody understood what was going on. But when the noise became so intense, and people now saw that there was a deliberate attempt to make Gbenro not to talk, and he saw that they were deliberately trying to make him not to talk, he got up and he left. He was angry and he left. He left. From what we heard, they said he went home. He went straight home. Then it was in his house that we heard that he now started screaming in his house. During the day, they said it was about 7 at night. He started screaming that he's going to say what happened. That was when Gbenro went ahead to explain what happened. He said there had been a meeting among a small gathering of people, that Queen Naomi was becoming too influential. Her influence was growing in the palace, that if they allow Queen Naomi would not allow them do the things that they have always been used to doing. Now, they said that Queen Naomi came with a bad spirit into the palace. What is this bad spirit they are talking about? The spirit that does not allow them do evil is a bad spirit to them, okay? So Queen Naomi had come to the palace with light. According to him, the plan was to summon a wild wind, okay? This one happened. They had succeeded in pushing Queen Naomi, that he said, that Gbenro said they were the ones that pushed Queen Naomi out of the palace. They pushed her. The same wild wind that they sent recently was the same wild wind they sent to push Queen Naomi out of the palace. Yes, they succeeded in pushing her out of the palace, but Kabiyesi would not let go. Kabiyesi continued to go after Queen Naomi over and over. When they saw that Queen Naomi had reconciled with Kabiyesi and things were getting better between herself and Kabiyesi, they will not happen. I am happy, because when Queen Naomi returns back to the palace, they will not be able to do anything. They will not be able to have their meetings. They will not be able to get as much as they have been getting, and they will not be able to foster their plan of taking position back from the Ooni of Ife. That as long as Queen Naomi was there, they will not be able. So they didn't want Queen Naomi to be there. They sent a wild wind, according to them, according to what we are hearing. It said that the plan was to summon a wild wind, a spiritual force meant to cause a dangerous disturbance that would strike at her, that is Olori Naomi personally. They believe this wind would create chaos around her, possibly harm her, and turn public opinion against her. But the wild wind did not harm her, because at the time they expected the wild wind to get to, we are talking about Ibadan. At the time they expected the wild wind to have gotten to Queen Naomi, Queen Naomi was not there. Queen Naomi was not present in that Ibadan place. And so when the wild wind got there, the wild wind didn't meet Queen Naomi. The wild wind leveled others that were there. He said the plan went terribly wrong. Instead of hitting Queen Naomi directly, the wind swept across to Ibadan, far from, where she was, because she was not in the position. It struck during a crowded public event, causing panic and confusion in a rush to escape the sudden violent wind. That is those people who came. People trampled over each other. Several children were caught in the chaos, and the incident became known as the stampede that happened in Ibadan. They say this man was the one who made this confession, or that was what happened. They say even though Queen Naomi, she had not caused it. She was not even linked to anything. It was because they wanted it to strike her. That wind, sorry about that noise, that it was meant for Queen Naomi, not those children, not those things, not what happened in Ibadan. It was meant for Queen Naomi. But as at the time that they sent it, Queen Naomi was not there. So it leveled that destination with children, causing a lot of chaos, people running against each other. That was the cause of that fight that happened in that stampede, that they were part, they were the ones that caused it. Now he started naming people. As he was naming people, there was a loud crack, like he screamed, and they say he has passed on. Now, how many people are we talking about here? Is it 4 or 5? 5 people already because of Ògúnjáyé. And Ògúnjáyé is striking them one after the other. Now, this man had not tried to do anything, or maybe he has, nobody can tell us at now that you and I are talking. But why would Ògúnjáyé strike? They said that, there were other connivance that, when he didn't want to do it, but apparently he collected money. Now, what is this money we are talking about? You do remember that there is money that was paid, money changed hands to do that, a receive Iwa or something Iwa, that protective stuff, ritual for the women that immunity will be removed from. Now that money that changed hands, they say it got to him too, and that's why Ògúnjáyé struck. And elders are saying enough. Kabiyesi should put Ògúnjáyé inside. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.